Sensley, our regional Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Hello, everybody. Am I supposed to say aloha? Aloha. Oh, I have to put my password back in. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the Coldwell Banker tools and programs available to you all, which are basically all free. And I know that you've heard about these tools for years, but sometimes we forget about them and we get so bombarded with phone calls and people trying to sell us tools that will do everything for you. Does that happen? Do you get these phone calls from people saying, okay, you need to buy this because you'll never have to do anything again. It'll just all happen for you. Your clients will come, it'll all happen. So we don't want you guys to get too caught up in that because we know that's not true. We know you need to be active in the process. We know that all of these things and trying to figure out what to do are so overwhelming. And we just ask that you try to keep in mind all of the tools that we have for you so that you can go out there and do what you chose as your business, and that's listing and selling homes, right? So don't reinvent the wheel. And I know that we have a lot of stuff. So what I always tell agents is just listen to everything we have and then pick out those 2, maybe 3 things that really interest you and then learn how to use those really, really well. And you can't worry about doing it all because it's just impossible. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. How many of you feel like you're getting your fair share of the business? Few of you? How about your unfair share? Would you like to get your unfair share of the business? That's what we're doing with our tools to try to make you stand apart. We know that this is a tough business and it's an emotional business. And so all we ask for is that you are given the consideration, right? When you want to go out on a listing appointment, we just want sellers to give you at least that consideration, to tell them who you are and what you have to offer. Your reputation is really important these days. How many of you have Googled yourself lately? Okay. Last week, a month ago, a year ago? You need to do it often because people are Googling you. And so you need to know what's out there about yourself, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about the big 3, as I call it, in a little while. But you need to make sure that you manage your reputation because it's so important. This is a huge emotional commitment on a seller's part, and you need to make sure that you show that you're the person for their business. In the end, you really just want to tell the story of you and why you deserve their consideration. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today briefly. We're going to go through where we are today as Coldwell Banker. Good old flag. Profile pages, property descriptions, social media, ways that you can get content. Videolicious. How many are using Videolicious? How many know what Videolicious is? Okay, so we know what it is, but we're not using it, okay? And Coldwell Banker Works. And then we're going to talk about, have you heard that we're doing a whole bunch of new stuff? Has anybody heard that yet? Bob might have brought that tidbit back to you guys. So we're going to go into what all of that is. So the first thing we're going to talk about is coldwellbanker.com. Now make sure you put a picture of this in your mind of what coldwellbanker.com looks like, because I'm going to show you the new coldwellbanker.com in a minute. So everybody get a picture of that. So coldwellbanker.com, according to Nielsen, is the #1 brand website. Now we don't claim to have the traffic that Zillow or Trulia or those companies have, but we're the #1 brand real estate site, followed by RE/MAX, Century 21, and Keller Williams. So just know that. Okay, so on coldwellbanker.com, here's some faces that you all know, right? You have agent profile pages. Does everyone know that if you have a video on your Coldwell Banker profile page, you go to the top of the search? Do we all know that? Do we all have a video? We all do? We don't want any fibs. Okay, we should. So here's what it looks like when you have, here's the search. And so video, 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 video. And then those who don't, and I did find some that this orange watch video was not there, those fall below that. And then if you don't have a photo, you're at the bottom. I think everybody has a photo, but that's what it looks like. Now, we need to make sure that not only are we doing the video, so you pop up first in the search, and that's random. So if a lot of people or everybody has a video, they come up in a random search. But the other thing you need to make sure that you do is tell the story of you. Don't just say, I've been in the business 37 years, I sell all over the island. People need to know that you are a person. Tell the story of you. Talk about yourself personally a little bit, okay? It's really important. People want to know who you are. How about agent property pages? I'm sorry, this is San Luis Obispo. I could not find a Hawaii, and I just searched Maui, but I couldn't find a property video. Now I'm going to show you some stats in a minute that talk about the importance of what consumers want. They want video. So say the consumer puts in their search criteria, bedrooms, baths, square footage, whatever that is they're looking for, and they get the search results, and they get a big old long list of the properties that match their results, and they see this. Which property are they going to look at first? The one with the video. YouTube is second largest search engine just behind Google. People use video, people watch video, people love video. So I couldn't find, even on the multi-million-dollar listings, I couldn't find any video. Maybe you have video, but you just haven't uploaded them to coldwell092114 yet. I don't know, but it's really important because, whoops, you're going to stand out. People are going to watch the video. So let's make sure. Oh, and the other thing, on your property descriptions, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, boring. Tell the story of the home. People are buying a lifestyle, especially here, more so than anywhere else I've talked. I've talked in Chula Vista, California. You know, they're not, I guess they're buying a lifestyle, but Hawaii, they're buying a lifestyle. Talk about the home. Don't just give the details, because that's going to be on that search anyway. It's going to have the 3-bedroom, the 2-bath, the 2-car garage. But tell a story of the home. Paint a picture of the home. Yes, question?
The watch video, do you get this because you upload it to coldwell092114 directly, or is that through that YouTube channel and then that link gets posted there automatically?
Your company has a feed. If you upload it to your website, then it will automatically feed to coldwell092114, or you can upload it to the Coldwell Banker On Location YouTube channel, and then that will automatically follow through to your listing on coldwell092114. Or you can go in through admin and upload it. So there's about 3 different ways that you can get it there. Another question here?
Well, that's a little worrisome. I know that some of us have gone through the YouTube channel.
I think everyone has a video.
Of their properties?
Every single person probably has multiple videos. We have videos.
No, this is a she talks about the property
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying you're not seeing it on coldbanker.com.
Right.
And why do we want to hear it there? Let's talk about that a little bit. If it's Nielsen is saying this is the #1 site,
Right.
so talk about
Right. I mean, so, and maybe we'll look into why your videos are not showing up if we have them. And I can talk with Bob about this later, but it's really important that you do have them there, because coldwellbanker.com is the #1 real estate site globally. Question?
Unless it doesn't automatically go in there, then, okay.
No,
You
it
have to
does
do it
not.
your
No.
own. Okay.
It would go through the feed that you guys provide a feed to Coldwell Banker, right? So if it's there on if it's uploaded, then it would go over. So we can talk about what is going on and who has videos and where they might be, and we'll get that solved. because we know.
There is an important point here that Cindy brought up before class here, and that is video is video, visual tour is not a video. So if you have a visual tour, can you load visual tours into Coldwell Banker?
If they have a YouTube URL.
Okay.
So if they're tagged as a true video, then they would still appear on coldwellbanker.com. But consumers don't really want virtual tours because a virtual tour is just a slideshow of the photos that are already there. So,
Could you please just restate then, you've got 3 different channels we're talking about here. Where's the premium place to put the video so it ends up where you would like to see it? Do we do it on YouTube? Do we do it
on the Coldwell Banker on location, it's the Coldwell Banker YouTube channel. It's called Coldwell Banker on location. If it's there, it's going to follow your property to coldwellbanker.com. The other really important part to know about Coldwell Banker on location, and a lot of agents just put their videos on YouTube, but on Coldwell Banker's channel, if that property sells, it will come off. So it's not filled with old videos and old properties. If there is a price change, it will be reflected on the YouTube Coldwell Banker channel. So it's set up, the platform is set up to know what takes place with that listing. So it's very important that your listing go on location. That is the number one. We were the first company to ever have a YouTube channel. Did you know that YouTube only allows Coldwell Banker to have their logo on sign riders?
On what?
You can have a sign rider that has the YouTube logo. So as seen on YouTube, no other real estate company is allowed to use the YouTube logo on their sign rider, except for us. Evelyn has a comment to add to
I
that.
had mentioned this the last time I was here, and I didn't have the opportunity to meet everyone, but I like to tell this story, and the reason there's a motive to the reason. I tell this story, true story, because it's a story that I would be telling to the people that I'm servicing. So in 2009, YouTube is, as you know, the second largest search engine, and it's owned by Google, right? And so YouTube came to us prior to Google actually purchasing them. They came to our marketing team and they said, hey, we recognize Coldwell Banker as being the #1 company in the real estate industry. And we would like to do something that's new. Did I tell this story, if you recall this? Oh, okay. So is it okay if I can keep going? All right. So they basically came to the marketing team. They said, we recognize you as the largest real estate company in the industry, and we would like to do something different. We'd like to partner up. Our marketing guys and gals were pretty brilliant. And they said, oh, okay, what do you want to do? They said, we want to have a TV channel on the internet. And brilliant marketing, Coldwell Banker marketing team, and that's why we're part of a big company like this, said, well, let's try it. We rolled it out May 2009. June, 6 weeks later, we crashed YouTube. They had to buy more broadband. That was very exciting. Now, as any company, real estate company, we've had other companies plagiarize, but they've never been able to catch up to what we've done. So if you look at the brand promise video, 2014, and you were to YouTube Coldwell Banker, if you want to write this down, Coldwell Banker brand promise video 2014, you'll notice there's a sign writer. So if you have a video that is appearing on the On Location YouTube channel because it's being fed through your back office, and I'm not quite sure how that works, but we'll get that figured out later. We can do that offline. Then what that means is for you and for your sellers that you're marketing their property, we are the only company that can say YouTube on those sign writers. The boutiques, the other competitors, the Remaxes, the C21s, they're not able to do that. So thank you for letting me
Right.
have the floor for a moment.
And I'm going to show you the brand promise at the end today, so because I love it and I want to make sure that you've all seen it. So why are we preaching video? Well, we've just heard of an awful lot of good reasons why. But here's a study. And this video and study put together, that's a new word, studio. This study was done by Google and NAR, and it's the digital house hunt, and you can look it up, and it's what consumers want. Now, I was surprised at this one. I thought consumers wanted property video number one. They actually want community videos, 86%. I think that's pretty easy to do here. You have gorgeous communities, so let's get out and do some videos on those. Put them on your profile page, put them on your local site, and put them on coldwellbanker.com. But here, they want your videos on your listings. They want, 70% of them want it. 54% want how-to videos. So this is some interesting data for you to help you realize the importance of video. Even though you already know it, this is some good hard facts to help you understand the importance. And how can you do video? I mentioned Videolicious. You've all heard about it. When you first heard about it, it might have been that we were looking for 10 agents per area to receive a free account. Well, that was about two and a half years ago. Since then, every single Coldwell Banker agent has a free Videolicious Coldwell Banker account. Now, anybody can go to the App Store and get a Videolicious account. But we have a Coldwell Banker Videolicious account for you, because then it has the Coldwell Banker sign that comes up at the end, and it also has free licensed music. Has anybody ever done a video and popped a song on there from what? Yeah, somebody's laughing over there, and you get in big trouble. You can't use people's songs without their permission or paying a royalty. So we have licensed music free for you all to use. Once you complete your video, it gives you the opportunity to upload immediately to Facebook, to YouTube, gives you a link to email, and you can also upload it to Twitter. So it's really easy. You go out ahead of time. By the way, you have to have an iPhone or an iPad to use Videolicious. That's not our calling. That's the company Videolicious. They only have an app for iPhone and iPad. We've talked to the people at Videolicious. They are working on Android, but because there are so many different devices, it's making it really difficult to do. How many have iPhones? Oh, good. How about iPads? Good, 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 good. How about the others? They just don't have the app for them yet. They don't.
I know, but how many have them?
Oh, well, but most people have an iPhone, or maybe they have the others, but they have iPhones and iPads. So that's what you need to be able to do this. Now, I hardly do anything on my iPhone anymore because the iPad's so easy. It's nice and big. But you take your iPhone or your iPad out, you do some little video clips through either of your property. Don't just do one long one. Do some different clips. Take some shots out in the community. You can mix video, short video clips with stills of the home. So maybe you introduce the property live with you talking. Yes, I know it's scary. Some people say, but I don't like how I look on video. Well, guess what? That's how you look. And other people say, but I don't like how I sound. Well, guess what? That's how you sound. And when you go meet them, they're going to see and hear you. So just get over it and do it. Because what? People like video, okay? So we want you to just do it. Oops, I just stole that from Nike. So you put together all your little clips, and then you come back and you open the Videolicious app. You have all of those in your photos on your iPad. You open the app, and it's 1, 2, 3. 1, select your photos and videos. Click, click, click. 2, start talking. Now, if you've done your video ahead of time of you, you don't have to do that part. And then when you want to, or if you want to introduce it, you do. When you want to switch from your face on screen to the photos or the video clips, you just tap them in the bottom right-hand corner. Tap, talk about, tap, until you're finished. And then you end it, and then the Coldwell Banker logo pops up at the end, and you're done. Step 3 is to choose your music to go behind it, and then you there's a high def or a low, you save it, and boom, you're done. It saves to the cloud so that you're not keeping space on your device. and then you decide where you want to publish it. It's that easy. Now I'm going to tell you a story. My grandson was visiting, and he was about 5.5 at the time. When he was 3 and visiting, he said, "Grandma, do you have YouTube?" I'm like, yeah, why? Type in Switch and Go dinos. Okay. Does anybody know what Switch and Go dinos are? They're little toys that you can transform, but they're the little kid ones, not like the Transformers that our kids kind of knew. So I type it in, he's like, "Okay, thank you." And off he goes with my iPad, and he went through and watched the videos on how to transform his toy. So that was when he was 3. Now when he was 5.5, and I was preparing to go out and talk with groups of agents like you, and I was learning how to use Videolicious. So I'd kind of done it a few times. I'm like, "Hey Q, so check this out. You like videos, let's make a video." So we make a Videolicious video. He loved it, of course. And then the next day, I'm sitting at my chair at my desk, kind of going over, timing a presentation, and he's sitting in the chair, no shirt on, just hanging out in Grandma's office, making Videolicious videos. "Hi everyone, it's Quentin here. Today we're going to," and he just started going through pictures on my iPad and making these videos. So, and then he's like, "Oh, and that's my grandma, and she's working and talking," and because it was, and you could hear all this on his video. So, long story, just to tell you, just do it. It's so easy, even a 5-year-old can do it. That's my point.
Who's smarter than a 5-year-old?
Right, that's my point. Well, even a 5-year-old can do it, guys, so let's give it a try. Okay, so social media. So we talked about the importance of Googling yourself. How many of you are using social media in some way, shape, or form? Okay. So these are what's called the big 3. Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn, how many are on LinkedIn? Okay. When's the last time you updated your LinkedIn profile? Did you set it up like 4 or 5 years ago and forget it? Oh, I hear some people laughing. Okay. So LinkedIn is the professional social media site. And it's where it's kind of a few tips for you on how to use it. I'm not saying you have to post stories to it and do all that kind of stuff, but have a good refreshed profile. And when you meet people, go to LinkedIn, search for them, find their LinkedIn profile, and send them a message to connect. So now you've met them maybe at an open house, or maybe you've done a listing appointment or whatever. Now, a day or 2, maybe 3 days later, they get this gentle reminder of you because they get this invitation to connect on LinkedIn. So of course they're going to say yes. And then they're going to go read your profile. So very important to have a good profile. Great way to connect, great way to touch someone again after you've met them. Okay? So everybody's going to make sure that their LinkedIn profile is up to date. Facebook, how many use Facebook? How many use a business page and a personal page? And how many aren't sure what the heck they should do? Okay, good. We got an honest hand in the back. So the word now is, it used to be, oh, you have to have your regular Facebook page and you have to have a business page. Now, social media experts are saying you don't really need a separate business page because people want to know who you are. Now, if you are out partying and getting crazy and posting those pictures on your personal page, then yes, you need a business page. Okay, so you all can decide, which way you need to do it. But you should never, even if you have a business page, it should never just be filled with, I got this new listing, check this house out, check that house out. That's not what people want to see. So you can have your one Facebook page and you can sprinkle in bits of business as gentle reminders that you are a real estate professional. But yet they also get to see that you are a person and maybe you have similar backgrounds, maybe you have similar interests, and those are the things that will entice people to call you when they're ready to do business. Okay? Twitter is just another fun way. I don't use Twitter much because it's such a short little message, and I probably talk too much. So, but Twitter is another way that you can connect with people on just another social way. So, those are the three that are important. I know that there are all other sites. Oh my goodness, I was getting a manicure the other day before I came here. 2 sisters were in there and they were talking about, I can't remember the name of the site now, where you just go on and you connect. It's like a dating site. Never even heard of it. Have you guys know what I'm talking about?
Tinder.
What the heck? When did that come? Where did that come from? And this girl's sitting there getting a pedicure and she's connecting with all these guys like this. I mean, and she's telling her sister and she's showing her sister pictures. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? How come you know about it, Bob?
I have a daughter.
Okay. Tinder.
That's how I learn all the latest stuff.
Oh, I tell you, these girls were just, whew. She's like, yeah, I'm having 4 different conversations with guys right now, and one wants to meet tonight, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, okay. So, no, y'all, yes, Evelyn.
Talk about, if you would, real quick, and maybe you're going into it, what we're doing at a national level to kind of take the load off of.
Yes, that's next. So, some of you might be thinking, yes, I do these things, I try to keep up with Facebook, but it's so hard to figure out. I mean, we know content is king, right? That's an old cliche, but it is true. Content is king. So we have lots of places for you to get content very easily, to mix in with your own content. How many of you like Coldwell Banker's Facebook page? I encourage everyone to do that, because then you will be fed content, stories, real estate stories, all types of content that you can then share with the people on your Facebook page. Now remember, when you like a page and you receive that content on your page, your people don't see that, you only see it. So you decide what you feel will be important for your friends and family and business, everybody that you have on your Facebook page. You decide which articles you think you would like to post on your page. You click share. Now don't just share and be done with it. Make sure you write your own comment, okay? It's connecting with people. So read through, like coldwellbanker.com. It's so important that you like the Facebook page and get that content and start using that to sprinkle in with your own content. Freshen it up, make it a little bit different, and that'll help you take the load off of trying to figure out what the heck to constantly post. Another place that you can go is Blue Matter. Has anybody heard of the Coldwell Banker blog? It's been around for a very long time. Again, Pioneer, one of the first companies to ever do a real estate blog. So it got a facelift earlier this year to make it more contemporary, more up to date with what blogs look like, because it was just sort of stories. All kinds of ideas that is this the cutest backyard party ever? I mean, just celebrating summer, Farmer's Almanac, constant stories that you can use to post, to share with people on your social media. And one more place for you all to go is the Coldwell Banker Generation Blue group. And this is a group, it's a closed group. You can't just go in and like it. You have to ask permission to be part of the group. And it's a group of Coldwell Banker agents from all over the world. There's a Coldwell Banker company in India who's been posting a lot on here, and it's just so fun to see the comments and the interaction with Coldwell Banker agents from all over the world on this Facebook page. Now, why is it called Generation Blue? And you all know what Gen Blue is, right? The events. Gen Blue is the regional and international global events that Coldwell Banker holds. So, yes, we have Gen Blue events, but we are all also Gen Blue. We are Coldwell Banker, we are called Gen Blue, okay? So it's a Gen Blue Facebook page. There's a company in Turkey who was celebrating their 1-year grand opening, and they posted pictures of this enormous gala that they had for their 1-year anniversary. And you should see the comments of agents from all over the world just congratulating them and writing them back. So it's just a cool place for you all to talk to other Coldwell Banker agents from all over the world. Evelyn.
A live example, our office in Kauai, in Princeville. The owner, John Ferry, was awarded with a community service from the chamber, and his daughter, who is also the marketing person, emailed me and said, can we get some recognition on this? So I sent it off to David Cerrone, who is our public relations person, and Lindsay, and I never see
Listansky.
Thank you. And I'm originally from Chicago. Anyway, they put it on the Facebook post. So if you have something like that, it can go on this national global site,
Right.
and be marketed out there.
And you can post to it yourself. Now, right now, because Gen Blue, the event, is coming up in just a few weeks, people are talking about Gen Blue and, getting excited about it and trying to hook up with people who have been in the business maybe similar types of years as them, or people that are from certain areas. People are commenting, hey, does anybody want to hook up for this or want to do that, and get together and networking and all. So it's a really fun Facebook page that you all should definitely join.
How do we do that?
You go to facebook.com/groups/Generation Blue.
You said we had to
In the
do
top
that.
corner, you click join, and then you'll be added. Okay? All right. So, of course, speaking of Gen Blue, us all being Gen Blue, and Gen Blue, the events, does anybody know what this place is? It's a place where the Academy Awards, the Oscars, the final night of American Idol, all takes place in this beautiful venue called the Kodak Theater. But it also has another name, and I just drew the Dolby. Thank you. That's what I always refer to it as. This is where the opening event is going to take place. Just phenomenal, phenomenal venue. And then after that, of course, there's networking, and there's adult beverages and more networking. And then, by the way, we have I think this number is over 300 now, people coming from all over the world. So it's a truly wonderful networking experience. Is anybody going? I know Bob just said he's going. Is anybody going to Gen Blue? Uh-oh. Okay. You are? You're going to sign up and go, or you already are?
I'm already.
Oh, fantastic. That's wonderful. I'll see you there. Make sure you say hi.
Is anybody from China going?
Oh, a ton of people from China, yes. China, Canada, Italy. I talked to Peter Turco. He's our VP of International. And he said there are people coming from just about every Coldwell Banker company that we have. And we're in 54 countries and territories. So there's people coming from all over the world. Evelyn?
One of the things that some of our companies are doing is if multilingual, bilingual, they're going on, and you're going to talk about that?
No, go ahead.
Or should I? If you go into the intranet site and you click on global directory, regional directories, global regional directories, it'll give you that point person at the regions, and what we're suggesting is to, in the language of that country, and in China there's 3 different dialogues, basically to send a letter in their language and just introduce yourself from the island. And a lot of the companies are now doing that.
Mm-hmm. So that they can connect and hook up with someone from, I keep saying hook up, that's probably not the right words to use, especially after we're talking about Tinder, but connect with people before they arrive that maybe speak the same language as you do and make them feel more comfortable in coming into town. Yes?
What's that site?
The site to,
coldwellbankerworks.com.
you go to coldwellbankerworks.com and then you type in the search global directory.
Does translate the letter into their dialect, to their
Yes.
language? Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear?
she answered it.
Okay. All right. So, and then all of the learning is going to take place at Universal Studios. I mean, how fun is that? And the closing party, if you've ever been to one of the international conventions, the closing party is at Universal Studios. We've closed down the whole place. all the rides, drinks, food, networking. Our whole 3,000 Coldwell Banker agents will take over Universal Studios. So if you haven't registered, you're going to have fun, right? What's your name? Megan. I'll look for you there. If you haven't registered, you might want to do it. There are still a few tickets left. So, oh yeah. And you get to ride all the rides for the closing party. DJ Mary Mack is going to be there. It's going to be a blast. So that's the dates. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. When I talk about Gen Blue, I can't help but throw in a little bit about the event. So Coldwell Banker Works. Does anybody know what Coldwell Banker Works is? Good. Well, no, that's really good. Some people don't quite know what it is. How many people use it? Oh my gosh, this is like the most hands of any company I've ever been to. That's wonderful. Thank you. How many like using it? Okay, well that's really good. What I hear out there is that it's terrible, it's so hard to use, you can't find anything you want. You all have found the secret to using it. That's great. What I tell people to do, and maybe this is why you guys like it, is don't bother going to all these buttons to try to find what you want because it takes forever and I get frustrated. You just go right to the search button here and type in what you're looking for. So that says IMA because you're looking for images, the image library, and boom, you get a drop down that shows you where to find the image library. So I suggest that you use the search button to find anything that you're looking for, and it'll make your life a lot easier, and you'll be able to use the tools in there. There's some really great resources in there, such as The New Age of Real Estate. Now this is a white paper written by Lindsay Lastansky. She's our social media manager at Coldwell Banker, New Jersey, in the marketing team. And she wrote about social media. So she could kind of make it a little bit easier to understand. I don't think you guys are pretty good at social media, it sounds like. A lot of hands went up. But you might want to go take a look at it. Again, just go to the search, type in social, and then you'll get this white paper that you can read just to make sure that it's about a year and a half old, but still it's just basics of social media. So you might want to take a look at that. And then the other really great piece of information and research is called Appthology. And a gal in the marketing team named Kalpana downloaded, how many people hear about all these apps that you have to have, right, in your business? All the time. So Kalpana downloaded, purchased, used every app imaginable, and then wrote about them. So this would be a paper that you might want to go search, APPTH, and you'll find Appthology. A good piece of information for you so that you can read it and see what is good, what's not so good, what not to waste your time on, and what that maybe you should go download. So that's a really great piece of information in CB Works. Here's something a lot of people don't know about in CB Works. Does anybody know about the Previews e-directory? Aha, finally. Something you don't know about. Okay. So for certified Previews property specialists, you get a ticket to a very important piece of information. You type in the search, Previews e-directory, and up pops this screen. You put in your language, you hit next. Now you have a screen where you put in the city and state. Okay, so why? How many of you ever have had a seller who said, I know my home is going to sell to someone from somewhere? Does that ever happen? The buyer for my home is going to come from Seattle. Absolutely, they're insistent upon it. That doesn't happen here? Okay, it happens most other places. You get this finicky seller who insists their home is going to appeal to someone from China because they're Asian and they have the home all decorated. If this ever does come up, this is a great way for you to connect. So you go to the Previews e-directory, you type in the city and state of where you want to find all of the certified Previews property specialists. So I typed in Seattle, hit next, and boom. I now have a list of 72 Previews property specialists in Washington. Right here, it says email your selections. So you click all, and you now can email a brochure to all of those preview specialists in Washington. Boom, just like that, you've satisfied your seller. Or maybe you think you need to market a particular property to a particular area. This is where you can go to do it. If the list is too large, you have to download those emails and then send it through your email. So that's a little hidden secret that nobody seems to know about. What, do you think this would be a useful tool? Absolutely. Question?
That's going to have to be a previous property, though, correct?
No, not necessarily, but you do have to be certified to gain access to this tool. It's one of the benefits of being a certified previous property specialist. Question?
Is there any other place inside of Coldwell Banker Works that has the list of outer or mainland or other Coldwell Banker affiliates that aren't previews?
No. No. You can only global. You can get the global directory. But for the rest of the areas, you simply search Chicago, Coldwell Banker Chicago. And then it's going to give you all the offices and all the agents, and you can connect with people that way. I suggest maybe if you have a property that you want to promote, say to Chicago, then you contact the branch manager at that office, and you send a letter, or you send a brochure, or you touch base that way. So globally, yes, and then for previews, yes. So that's just another very interesting tool that we have on CB Works for you. Okay, so what have we been working on? Here were the high-level goals a year ago for 2014, because all of these things are like this close from being rolled out. The primary goal was to maximize the quality of engagement and to elevate the selling experience. We've gone through, coldwellbanker.com was, again, a pioneer and one of the first to have a real estate website. We've updated it over the years, but basically the pipes are kind of old. So everything is being rebuilt on a completely high-tech digital platform that's very flexible and ready for that next whatever it is on the horizon, because we don't know what it is, but technology is moving so fast that something else is going to be here soon, and we'll be able to adapt immediately. So here's kind of what we did. We hired a research company, we looked at statistics, we spoke to brokers and agents, and we engaged a new agency. And I'm just going to kind of look at some notes here because I want to make sure that I tell you all of these things that we've worked on to make this happen. We talked to consumers, and we found that they really do rely on doing their searches on the internet, as we all know. But they were frustrated because they find properties on so many websites. And they still felt like they needed a real estate agent. Yay! Where they could go and get information. But we also found that they were looking at 5 or 6 different websites looking at the same property because they want more. They want to go see more information. So we're going to give them more. We're going to really change that experience and give them what they're looking for. Give consumers what they're looking for, and then ultimately that will elevate our selling experience, okay? So your sellers will be excited about this because we're giving buyers what they want. We don't want to be the sea of sameness, because how many websites are out there, hundreds and hundreds of them, that are all giving the same information, right? And buyers are looking for more. Question?
I'm sorry, the current coldwellbanker.com runs on a platform that'll be exchanged? Is that interpreted correctly?
What do you mean exchanged?
You said that it's going to get upgraded to
Yes.
a different kind of software. So how it runs today, if I look, that's not how it will be running in the future. It'll run through that new digital agency on a different platform?
Yes, it's being completely rebuilt, yes. Okay. So, sea of sameness, not for us. We're rebuilding coldwellbanker.com. We're replacing completely Coldwell Banker Works and a new e-marketing system. So here, I'm going to go through these things now. So the first thing after all of this research was, okay, we want to create a really stunning experience. Now, do you remember what the old coldwellbanker.com looked like? And I told you to remember what it looked like. How's this look?
Great.
This is the new coldwellbanker.com opening screen. Isn't it beautiful? Simple. Oh, yay. Very simple. People don't want to see all those buttons and all that stuff. You know, they just want to have a good, easy, clean experience. You want to buy, you want to rent, or you want to find an agent or an office. Very, very easy. Search right here. Just put in what you're looking for. By the way, this will be a real listing on the opening page. You can submit to have a property on the opening page, and they will be regionally appropriate based on where the consumer is logging in from. Okay? Not down to Hawaii and San Diego, but regionally. The Western US, South, Canada, it'll be broken down into a few different regions. But that's better than them always getting a Cape Cod in New England. So that's what the home page will look like. Yes?
So if our friends in Canada, they come in because they're buying in Key, if they put in, they're searching for Hawaii or the western region of the U.S., will that front pictures continue to be Canada, or will it be smart enough to start showing them pictures of places where they're interested in buying?
Once they put their search in, that page is going to change anyway. It's going to go to their search results.
But they're going to come back next week again.
I really don't know. It's going to give them a photo based on where they're logging in from their IPA address. That's what it's going to give them.
It'd be great if you could throw a cookie on their system and start showing pictures of where they're living.
I've heard that before, and that might be something that can be rolled out in an update. But today, I don't believe that's set. It is set to serve them properties from where they're logging in. Question?
How do you submit your property?
You know, I don't have exact instructions yet, but right now you would just submit to me. And Bob will make sure he has my contact information. Or to your business consultant, which would be Evelyn.
When's this going to happen?
I'm going to tell you in just a second. So, it has to be, you know, we have to lead up to it, right? So has anybody ever heard of responsive design? Okay. Has anybody ever logged onto a website on their mobile device and you can't even read it? And you have to make it bigger and move and do all of that ridiculous stuff? That's because they didn't build it using responsive design. Every single device that someone uses to log on to coldwellbanker.com will look perfect because everything's been done using responsive design. Okay, so global. You know, who can say that they're in 54 countries and territories? Can any other real estate company say that? No. We are the only ones. But we kind of keep it a secret. It's not going to be a secret anymore. It's going to be on the new coldwellbanker.com. And all of the countries and territories on there will actually be live links. So people can go and see where we're located and feel really good about working with a global company. Because sellers want to know, they think that they need a global company.
Where's Hawaii?
You're in the U.S.
We are part of the United States.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way now. Oh. I thought I wanted to go back. Whoa. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, that's supposed to be the back button. Okay. This is just a...
It's there. There's no button.
Okay, this is a still that was done way back when we were creating this, you guys. Everybody's going to be there. Okay, so here's a glimpse of the buyer's experience. Now, you know how most real estate, whether it's Zillow or Trulia or a company's website or newspaper ads or everything done for real estate, everything has to fit in these little boxes and rows, right? No more on coldwellbanker.com. We call this our Pinterest view. Look at this. If you have a vertical photo, let's give it the space it deserves. Let's show it vertically. People are used to this kind of not everything in a little box because of Pinterest, because of social media. So that's how we're going to display our listings. Now you have to make sure that you upload good resolution photos, otherwise, it's not going to look good. So I think that buyers and sellers alike are really going to love this new feature.
But this will still be uploaded automatically through the MLS, right?
Right.
As he said, we high resolution photos, so these are MLS information.
But you can feed higher resolution photos through your company. Yeah, or directly in, yes. Okay, I think I missed a screen. Yeah, I did. Okay, it doesn't want to go back. All right, so this is a buyer's experience, and we know that buyers like maps. We know that they like to look at where things are located. So we're going to have both, and then this is called the handlebar, and they can get more on the map or less, or they can go all map. So yeah, that loves to just jump over there, or they can go with an all map view. There's the Pinterest view. Now, as far as property details, big photos, sharing, here's email, phone, Twitter, Facebook, all kinds of places that pinning, they can save it as a favorite. So all different ways that people can connect. I think I have the next slide on this. So this is something that's also new. Our app is going to talk to, and an app is different from a website. So we're also rebuilding our app, which makes this an entire digital platform. There will be different places for buyers to go, sellers to go, and agents to go. And I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but I don't want this to get just too detailed. So how many times have you had a buyer who they're searching for properties and they have to get the advice of their sister, or they have to show this property to their mother, or they have to show this to their friends, right? People want to show the properties they're thinking about buying to other people. So we will have that mechanism in place for them to share with different groups directly through coldwellbanker.com. They can save properties as favorites. They can, again, send it to their group. They can do thumbs up and thumbs down. And then agents will then get that data to be able to send back and have that discussion with your sellers of what consumers are liking, not liking, and talking about the property. You'll have the data. You don't have to just go in there and say, we need to reduce the price because we're not getting any showings. You can have some data to help back that up with what consumers are saying they like and don't like. Yes?
So this is like direct feedback from the page, like if somebody goes to coldwellbanker.com, they're looking through stuff, and they feel like giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down and making comments, then we can get those comments to share with our seller.
Yes, you will get the data to share. Okay?
Will any consumer be able to create a profile and get this data and updates to those data too?
No, I don't think they can get the data. They can make comments, but they're not going to get the data back. That's for agents.
Is that the dashboard back end?
Yes. Okay, so we talked about engaging the seller, and this is the really exciting part about coldwellbanker.com. So depersonalization. How many stagers, how many of you go in and tell your seller to depersonalize the home? Do we do that? Okay. We think this has gone just a little too far, and I just had this happen to me. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But we feel like, who knows the home better than the seller? I mean, of course we want the home to be neat and clean, but we don't want to remove all the memories. People are buying a lifestyle. If you have a certain area in your home, the seller, that has family pictures in it, the new buyer can picture that place for their family photos. We think that depersonalization has gone just a little bit too far, and that sellers have that emotional tie to that home. So let's bring that back. Let's let buyers know about the lifestyle and the memories created in this home. So what we're going to do is allow homeowners to be involved. We're going to allow homeowners See this right here? Photo by homeowner, and it has a little CB icon. We're going to allow homeowners to post photos, videos, stories, memories. Now, I know everybody's going, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You will be notified, and you will have to approve it. Okay? But just imagine, you've got a new listing, it's on the market, and everybody's buzzing with talk now, I know. But just imagine, your seller is having this graduation party. And they have decked out the yard with twinkling lights in the trees and beautiful place settings and umbrellas and candles, and it just looks amazing. And they take a short video and they talk about the celebration that is taking place at the home. And they post that video. People who are looking to buy can envision themselves having that party in that yard. So the homeowner submits the property. They have a place that they can actually access their listing, and then they can upload something. The agent receives notification that their seller has done this, and they can approve it, or they can call and have a conversation. And so then it appears with this exclusive photo by homeowner, or there will be a story. So the cool thing is, remember we talked about buyers saying they're going to 5, 6, 7, 10 different sites, looking at that same property because they're trying to find something else about it. So imagine they go back to coldwellbanker.com to look at this home that they really liked, and they shared it with their sister, and their sister said, yeah, that's kind of cool. And they go back to look at it again, and they find that a new video's been uploaded. Oh, by the homeowner? Well, that's interesting. And so they take a look. Oh, there's been a story by this homeowner? Let's read it. You know that's how people are. They're going to be intrigued by that, and they're going to check it out. So they come back and they find that there's new information, and they're delighted to find it. And then they see this story by the homeowner's notes. So they think it's pretty cool, and they come back again and again because they know that they're going to have a different experience on coldwellbanker.com, and they're going to find new information.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
I find that brilliant, by the way. That is really awesome. But so this will not be possible unless there's a relationship created with an agent from Coldwell Banker as the listing agent.
Absolutely.
So not everybody can just...
No. It's exclusive for Coldwell Banker. You know, we have other companies' listings on our site. This experience will only be for our agents and their sellers. This is what differentiates us and sets us apart and will help you win more listings. Question?
Will the viewer or property searcher be able to leave comments, or is it
Yes.
thumbs up, thumbs down?
I don't think they can leave comments, but they can comment and share with their group. But I don't believe they can put comments right now. That could be for the next phase. So again, you'll see that little icon, and it's a CB exclusive. So the other thing, yes, question?
You're on a listing presentation, you tell a homeowner they can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do they do it?
You'll have instructions on how to do it. They'll have access to a back-end page specifically connected to their listing. Okay? Questions?
Where do you get that?
We'll be getting it to you.
Have you guys done any live testing with how that really plays out in the real world? What happens when you have a horrible seller video and you're on vacation and it gets 18 thumbs down, and what is this guy thinking? I hate this house.
It won't get posted unless you approve it.
What if your seller says, how come you didn't post this? I want this posted. And you said, well, it's a disaster. And now you've created a negative relationship over something that maybe you never would have posted in the first place.
Okay, Evelyn has a
What
comment.
I've heard from your peers is that if that exact scenario were to take place, it's being able to, it's similar to walking into all green housing and the green shag carpet. I know that's really being dramatic here, and going, yeah, this is probably why it didn't sell the first time next year. and being able to really have that nice sit down and talk about what it's going to take to market it. So if somebody sends you a not so nice video, I was going to say it, word I caught myself. I was going to say crappy video, and it does happen. Then you have to say, you know what, I think we might want to think about blah, 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 blah. You've done really well with this because it is a new medium. And the other thing that I know a lot of sales associates are doing, they have their assistant, they have their person, and it's like, we'll edit this a little bit for you, tweak it. And I just received a crap video from another fellow broker, and I went into Adobe Premiere 11 and spent a few hours, which I didn't really want to do, but I edited it, and it looked great.
You said it just there. I didn't really want to do that, and it created all this extra work.
Yes, it did.
And it's like, aren't we being hired to do it our professional way and not have that crossover? I think that there's a line between letting the sellers
It's up to you how
have
you
that
want to
kind of
bring in.
control over a listing.
In Huntington Beach, California, we have an office that brings in their drones. I know there's some we'll talk about that. But they bring in their professionals, and that's a service, a value-added service they provide to that seller. So when Cindy gives that example, what she's saying is, we've actually, in the Midwest, that story being attached to the listing has made it so in an area that isn't selling inventory as quickly as it may be in other areas when you've seen inventory slowing down, it really sets apart you and the listing, and the sellers are like, wow, I love that you're giving us recognition for our home and being able to tell
I
the
think
story.
that is definitely interesting,
Yes.
but maybe the factor of how often it can be input and the comments could have the negative effect.
I
I'm
hear
all
what you're
for
saying, but-
having the seller have an opportunity to say something about their home in their own words or send us a video, but it shouldn't be on a constant, whenever they feel like
But
it.
we're living in consumer-centric, remember? We're living in a world where anybody can go on. I'm sorry, they can. It's not something we can control. We gave up our MLS books in what, I don't even remember.
98.
Thank you, 98, oh, you remember.
That's very happy.
Yes, and so we've given that up. It's a whole new world. We can't control that. What we can do is we can help the service. I know it's a different thought process, but we can't control what people are saying.
Another question back? No? Okay. And that's just something you'll have to discuss with your sellers and let, you know, just like you would have to with the green shag carpet.
Is there a way that you can take that option away? Or is that just part of the...
You know, they're going to see it on other listings and they're going to want to know why you didn't talk to them about it. It's just going to take your professional counseling and discussions with them to make sure that this is right. Okay, so let's get back here because I know you guys want to get out of here on time. So the other thing that we're doing with coldwellbanker.com is posting our commercials. And our commercials have been rated so highly, I don't have the figures on that, but we decided that we'd better put them on our website. You all are familiar with our Coldwell Banker commercials? I'm going to show you them just in case.
Your home. It's made of wood and nails, pipes, tiles, doors and windows. But it's more than that. It's something larger than the lawn that leads up to it, wider than the walls that contain it, and greater than the sum of numbers painted on the curb. Your home is you, your infinite memories. That warm evening on the roof on the 4th of July, the endless waves of laughter at the dinner table, the sleds hanging hopefully in the garage, those board games on the floor. Your home is everything. It's who you are, where you're from. It's what you long for whenever you're away. Because it's the only place in the world where you always know one perfectly wonderful thing for certain. Your home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Does everyone know who that voice is?
Magnum PI.
Right. So we hired Tom Selleck, gosh, I think this is the 3rd year now with his commercials. And have you heard the story about Tom Selleck? Okay, so I won't waste the time on that. So when we first did the Tom Selleck voiced commercials, they're all about lifestyle. And so that now we're taking it that next step with coldwellbanker.com because it is a lifestyle, it is an emotion, and so that's why we're continuing this through the website. What's the story? All right, so I'm going to tell the story real quick because some people don't know it. So Tom Selleck grew up in a family where when he was young, his dad, they lived back in the Midwest somewhere. They loaded up the station wagon with all the kids and they went to LA. Tom's dad decided to become a Coldwell Banker agent, Tom Selleck. And so did his brother, and so did his sister. And he never went into the business. His dad actually worked for Coldwell Banker his entire life and ended up being a vice president. So Coldwell Banker knew about this, and they went to Tom Selleck when we started putting together this concept of lifestyle for our commercials. And they went to Tom Selleck, and he was truly emotional about this when he accepted the position. And he was so emotional when he called his mom and he said, "Mom, I'm finally part of the family business." He showed up at Gen Blue last year in New York on stage, opening day. So, you know, and the next commercial I'm going to talk about, and so this is why we're putting these on the website. Now, the next commercial was called Home Sweet Home. And I played it earlier when I was trying to make sure that the speakers were loud enough, but we didn't have this many people in the room. So here's what happens, though. We don't just buy TV spots and put them on the air and say we're done with it. We have a completely different philosophy. We make sure that those commercials go viral. 5 days leading up to the Grammys, the hashtag #HomeRocks was used 7,600 times. And the commercial was watched on YouTube 87,000 times before it even aired on TV. So in these days, you don't just buy a TV spot and forget it. We work the magic and make it grow legs. And then it was watched on Facebook 1.7 million times. So let's take a look. Let's wake everybody up. Okay, so guess what happened? This part just kills me. Our competitors noticed. Here's something that Remax said. Well played at Coldwell Banker with hashtag #HomeRocks. Oh, a link to our commercial on their Twitter feed. Time for Remax to step up. Over here, because you guys might not be able to read them, Long and Foster, doesn't matter if I'm hashtag Gen Blue or not, the hashtag #HomeRocks ad was amazing, and so are the people involved. Top notch, y'all, really. Again, a link to our Coldwell Banker commercials on their Twitter feed. That's mind-boggling to me. So they helped us push our commercial out even further. Question?
Can we use that?
You can use it anywhere you want to. Anywhere you want to. I just used it. Here's a great way. I was in North Carolina last week. I got home. The next morning I got up and got my cup of coffee and sat down, and I went to my Facebook page and I said, I love my job and traveling and sharing all of the tools that Coldwell Banker has with all of our agents all over. But there's nothing like waking up in your own home and having your cup of coffee in your favorite chair. I put hashtags, home rocks, and I put a link to the commercial. Yes, Bob?
The agent I just worked with, called Banker in Phoenix, has the link to the Tom Selleck commercial at the bottom of her email page.
Yes. Yes, and I was going to talk about that in a second. I do that. It's on the bottom. The brand promise is on the, now you can use any one of them you want, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, yes?
My question was, can I use the Motley Crue song on my video?
No. No. No, you're going to have to pay Motley Crue a lot of money for that, as we did. No. But you can use our spot with them. You can't just use their song. Oh, and speaking of Motley Crue, they tweeted about it. Now, they have a huge Sphere base. They tweeted about it, put links to our commercial everywhere. 6,600 people liked that tweet, which means they watched the commercial. So our philosophy of getting our commercials out there, a lot of people say, well, we don't see your commercials on TV all the time. No, but they've grown virally much more than you could possibly get more eyeballs on it than you could ever get on a TV commercial. Okay, so I had to throw in, because we're putting the TV commercials on the website, is why I put in the data surrounding it. So back to the new platform, it's rolling out at JetBlue. So those of you who will be there will get an even more in-depth, although I gave you a pretty good amount of information on it, but it will roll out at JetBlue. One more thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and we're about 7 minutes according to that clock that I've been watching. Does anybody use e-marketing? Does anybody use the e-marketing cards on CB Works? Okay. Do you pay for your e-marketing? No? You do it for free? Okay. Good. All right. You do it through CirclePix. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're rolling out a new e-marketing platform through a company called Imprev. And just a quick background on it, there's going to be tons of cards provided. Lots of different creative. There would have been a card right around the new Home Rocks rollout. A very reliable vendor that we've hired to do this from Seattle. Here's a glimpse of the opening page where you would go in to do your e-cards. By the way, it's completely free. You can send up to 2,500 e-messages a month. Is that enough? Or would you like more? I can get you more if you need it. If you have a database of people that you would like to email to more than 2,500, I can get your box made bigger. But we think that 2,500 is probably good. Absolutely free. Did I have a question? Yes.
Which website are we finding this?
On CB Works. What day is today? Monday? Today. It rolls out today. Question?
The last time CB Works was introduced to the team, it was discussed then about having more Hawaii themes or having it customizable. Is that an option that's been upgraded at this point?
I don't know if there are Hawaii themes. I think that most cards are based toward business with a Coldwell Banker or a previous theme, but you can always upload your own and then still use the platform and the database to send out. So here's kind of what it looks like. There's ad templates, animated cards, e-cards, e-newsletters. The e-newsletters will have a library that you can choose from to have stories, or you can write your own stories. There will be integration with Express Docs. Does anybody use Express Docs for high-end, high-gloss brochures, postcards, flyers? If you do, say you go in and you create a just listed e-card and then you decide you want to jump over to Express Docs, everything will go with you. There will be full integration over there. And it's real easy to get your contacts in. It integrates with Outlook and Gmail. And that is live now, and it connects through CB Works. There will be a huge amount of training on this at JetBlue. There's about 150 different classes throughout the cinemas at Universal Studios, and there will be ongoing sessions every hour to learn how to use the e-marketing center. CB Works, we talked about that a little bit earlier. The brand new CB Works will be completely mobile based. You can still get on a desktop, but there won't be the searching buttons. There won't be anywhere to have to go look and get lost. I call it, it'll be kind of like Google. You just type in what you're looking for and it'll serve it up to you. So this is completely being rebuilt, and this will be ready the end of first quarter. So that's that. Okay, so let me just kind of recap. The new coldwellbanker.com rolling out in 2 weeks at Gen Blue. The new e-marketing center today, live today. And the new Coldwell Banker Works, which will have a new name because a lot of people think Coldwell Banker Works doesn't work. So we're going to roll it out with a new name. You guys like it. I'm thrilled to hear that. And then the, was that all of them? CB Works. It will be first quarter. The new e-marketing center and the new Coldwell Banker platform. Yes?
Will previews get a place in that? Will they also have a new site, or will it be this site that it is now connected?
The preview site was just refreshed, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, and it's award-winning, and that is not getting refreshed right now. By the way, while you're mentioning the preview site, and we talked a lot about video earlier, do you all know that you can submit videos to be on the home page of previews.com, coldwellbankerpreviews.com? So when you do videos for your high-end previews listings, you don't have to be a preview certified agent to do this. Remember, a property can be marketed as a previews property even if you're not certified. It's the property that's getting that consideration. So if you do a good video on a previous property, you can actually submit it to be on the homepage of previews.com. It's the go-to place for people around the globe to look at high-end real estate. So, yes?
Again, to do this, where do you go?
To do?
In order to submit the property?
Go to CB Works. And just go to a search and put previews video, and you'll find the answer there.
When are you going to announce a new name instead of Works?
You know, I don't know. It has not been decided on yet. We've had lots of team discussions and submissions, and we've all kind of submitted what we would like it to be, but there has not been a new name decided yet. Another question?
What's the price threshold for a previews home for here?
It depends on the zip code. I did go look it up for one zip code. Let me see. I wrote it down. I looked up.
It's about $1 million. It's like 980.
It's around, yeah. I used the zip code that was on my hotel notepad, and it was 96753, and it was $856,000 for that zip code. Now,
If you want a higher price, you got to move out to my side of the island. We have a little higher threshold.
Now there is a tool. There's a tool on CB Works. You type in previews price in your search, and you're going to get what's called the previews price threshold lookup tool. And it will give you a box that says zip code. You type in the zip code, you hit enter, and it gives you that price for that area. That's what I did, and I got that price.
If it's that price, you can, on a listing presentation, you can say, we will list you as a preview.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. That if you go on a listing appointment and it's in 96753 and they're listing it at 900,000, you can tell them that you can market that property as a previous property. Yes.
So it's just a price point?
Well, it's not just a price point. You can have a tear down at $900,000 and you may not market that as a previous property. It has to meet the price criteria number one, and then it has to be a luxury home. Okay? All right. So these are all the things that we're doing to help you guys get more listings. Because what was it we want to do? We talked about at the beginning. You want to gain your unfair share of the market. And we feel that by providing an exceptional experience to both your sellers and your buyers is going to help you get your unfair share of the business. Right? And just as a reminder, this is not a consumer public commercial, but I use this on my signature line because consumers love it. It talks about who you are and what you do. This is the brand promise.
Home. It's a word so powerful, it stirs the heart in all of us. You see it in a baby's smile. Hear it in a child's laughter. Feel it the moment you walk in the door and hear the welcoming patter of feet running to greet you. For over a century, home has been our purpose. It defines us and every agent that wears our colors. Because blue is the color of infinite possibility. And while we continue to move forward in an ever-changing world, our mission will never waver. To deliver the treasure of home ownership ethically and honorably. For what we do is not just our job. It is our calling. It is our meaning. It is our truth. Coldwell Banker, fulfilling the dream of home for over 100 years.
Right? That's us. That's what we do. That's who we are. So let's spread that word. Evelyn?
I love this brand video, which you can YouTube, 2014 Coldwell Banker brand video. You can YouTube if you like the commercials. And the reason I love this, I'm taking what I hear out in the field as I travel. Sales associates like yourself will take the link, they'll do a copy of that link, and they will send it to people in their sphere of influence, and just talk a little bit about how that helps in the marketing of properties, or if you're getting ready to go out to take a listing, to set it up where you say, hey, it was great to talk with you, and send out a link. You may want to just take a look at what we're doing on a global level. That's where the marketing power of Coldwell Banker comes in. Thanks, Cindy.
Questions? Yes.
So at the beginning of the presentation, you talked about the fact that buyers ask for more information.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the more information you would like?
We're providing them with a website where they can go and have a different experience, where they can see more information on that listing. They can see videos, they can see comments from the sellers, they can see more pictures than they can see anywhere else. Because all of those things that go on coldwellbanker.com will not go to Zillow or Trulia or any of those other sites. So the experience on coldwellbanker.com will be different. Okay. Yeah. Just go to YouTube and type in Coldwell Banker 2014 brand promise, and you'll find it. Yeah, that's my question. Some of those things too. I go to YouTube. Search 2014 brand promise. You can search Coldwell Banker, mostly home. Coldwell Banker, your home. Come on, jump in. That was very good. Thank you.